Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. Please say hi. How is everyone doing today? Maribel, hello Maribel. Hi Vincent, it's been a while. It has been a while Maribel, and I'm very sorry about that. I've been really working hard on this course, which I finally completed. So now I've got a little bit more time to do live streams and to try to work on my second channel, which I have rebranded. Some of you might remember I had a second channel, which I've not had any time to do anything on this year, and I've rebranded it. You saw it? Oh wow, okay. What did you make of it? Very different, very different. Hello to everyone who's just joined. Please say hello. Let me know how you're feeling today. I will give it a go. I'm sure it's very interesting. Thank you, Maribel. That's very kind of you to say. It's just great to do a live stream after so long. It's been a long, long time. I think it was possibly February last time I was here. Tim, hello Tim. So Tim has been 1 month of no contact. Wow, that is really going through the grind. I can really feel your position right now, Tim, and I imagine you are really looking at things from different perspectives. Probably one day you're feeling quite comfortable, but then it's going really, really difficult for you throughout the day. And then maybe you're having a day where you're thinking of your ex 24/7. How are you feeling right now, Tim? You are going to be bouncing around with these feelings. 1 month, it can feel like 1 year. Can feel like 1 decade. A friend talked to her yesterday. A friend talked to her yesterday. I was brought and she said she isn't changing her mind. You're feeling angry. It's very, very natural to be feeling these negative emotions right now. Very natural. And anger is one of the 5 stages of grief that you're going to be bouncing around with. She has no remorse. This will be a position which one day you will look back on and you will probably see as the most challenging time during the whole process. So I really feel your negativity and your anger. It's very natural to be feeling that way. All I can say is that the sooner you are able to maybe adjust that, maybe transform that anger into something more positive for you, then the sooner you will begin to feel a little better. Now, I know that's kind of easy for me to say, but that is the reality of the situation. That if you can transform the negative thoughts and feelings into something positive and productive towards yourself on your own journey, that is when you will start to feel a little bit more stable-minded with it all. But very, very challenging. And I'm so sorry, Tim, to hear that you're going through this right now. Maribel has said, I'm finishing the IOSH course, and I will give it a go to yours for even more self-improvements and as my support for you and your hard work and support to us all. Well, thank you so much, Maribel. I really, really appreciate that. Please let me know your thoughts and everything and keep us updated. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Mercia, I'll call you Mercia if that's okay. You've got a lovely name there. Hi, almost 2 months of no contact, and I've heard he's dating someone. That's really crushing when you hear those words. Really, really painful words. But what I would suggest for you to try to focus on is thinking that you are at the moment where you can now progress your life forward. This doesn't mean you're never going to hear from your ex again. But what it does mean is you've perhaps hit that lowest ebb. You've heard the worst news you could hear, that your relationship has ended and your ex is with somebody else right now. So just think of every day from now is just about going in the right direction, just improving, and a feeling of positivity is on the rise because you've hit rock bottom. So today is the first day of the rest of your life, and that goes to everybody. That is where we're all at right now when you're going through the grind. You will feel happiness again. The Queen is here. Hello, the Queen. Great to have royalty in here. Hi, Vincent. Hi, the Queen. How are you? Lady Shante, an original from when I did my first set of live streams over a year ago. Lady Shante. Hi, Vincent. I can't believe you're live. I'm here, Lady Shante. I've been working really hard on trying to get this course sorted, and now it is. I am now in a position, hopefully, to be able to do more live streams. Tim has said, thank you, Vincent. What stage is she in right now? I mean, 1 month of no contact feels like an eternity, an absolute eternity. However, in reality, it's very, very early. I've heard of situations and stories where exes have taken not just days or weeks, but months or even years before they've reached out to their ex again. So we're talking about 1 month, 28, 30 days. This is in the very early period. The very, very early period. So it's hard to say specifically where your ex is right now because everybody's journey is different. But she is probably at a point in her life where she's feeling relief. She's feeling like she wants to explore her single life. I don't know where you live in the world, but most of the world is starting to open up a little bit right now. So there's that feeling of, okay, let's see what the world has to offer. That is perhaps where she is after a month of no contact. Obviously not what you wanted to hear, but that is the likely scenario. It certainly doesn't mean that you'll never hear from your ex again. I don't believe in giving people false hope, but the reality is that if you do the right things, then there is a very strong possibility that one day in the future you will hear from your ex again. Of course, nothing can be guaranteed. But ultimately, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they are real difficult periods of time. And like I said, sometimes you might have a day where you feel kind of okay-ish, but then it comes and hits you like a ton of bricks again. And everybody's different. Some people are a stage 1 dumpy, as I like to call it, for weeks, months, sometimes even years. Everybody's different, but that feeling of where you're thinking of your ex 24/7, most days, that is what I refer to as a stage 1 dumpy. Maribella said, some of you in this channel knows I've been in no contact for almost a year now, although I broke it by mistake. It gets easier with time, although you don't see it now. I don't think about my ex as much as I used to a few months ago. This is really great news for people to be hearing, and I'm so happy Maribel is kind enough to share her story, because it's absolutely true. You just can't see that there will ever be a time where things get easier. Now, I'm not here to say that you forget about the pain. I'm not here to say that you, inverted commas, get over the pain. What I'm here to say is that you learn to live your new normal, and your new normal doesn't sting as much as it does right now. And then if you progress with positivity, more doors will open for you. So Tim has said, I hope I moved on by then. Absolutely, Tim. The amount of people who hear from their ex, at which point they are with somebody that they are much happier with, is quite often. It's an irony which happens more than you probably think. So who is new to the live streams? I haven't done a live stream in a couple of months, 2-3 months. I know I've got new subscribers since then. So there's possibly people, in fact Tim might be one. I don't fully remember seeing Tim in a live stream when I did them before, which I believe the last one was probably in February. Who's new here? Who's new? Who is in here for their first live stream? Please get your questions in. Polly has said, hello Polly. What about serial daters? My ex has a history of constantly getting into relationships one after another, back to back. Latest one moved in first day of meeting. Is anything ever real with them? I'm new. Hello. Well, hello, Polly. And what you've described there is classic monkey branching behaviour. Monkey branchers, as I like to describe them, are people who have a mindset, and it's often subconscious, not even that consciously that they're thinking, but often subconscious, that they are always looking for, inverted commas, improvements. So they could be absolutely positively happy with somebody, and they just believe they've seen an improvement for their life, and they just move on. They go from branch to branch, and there's no level of depth of feeling. There's no depth of feeling where they feel you might describe a loyalty. So they might just be really, really happy. It's not even like they're having a bad relationship with you or with somebody else. But as soon as they see somebody that they feel could grow their life in a better way, they deem, they will just move to that. That is what I refer to as a monkey brancher. From what I know, and everybody of course is different, but I would suggest that somebody who is a true monkey brancher would only likely change this behaviour with counselling or with absolute realisation, because this is inbuilt into their psyche. It's inbuilt possibly due to an attachment style, possibly through other reasons that they've experienced in their life, and because of that, if you date somebody new and you find out that they've had a lot of previous partners, I don't mean a lot of previous partners from a casual sense even. I'm talking about a lot of relationships. If you know somebody who's had a lot of relationships that they actually claim were serious, then you do have to ask yourself, why have they had so many relationships? So we're not talking about flings or one-night stands, because they can be judged in their own way. I'm talking about people who say, yes, this was my boyfriend or this was my girlfriend, and 6 months later, this was my boyfriend or this was my girlfriend, and so on and so on. They are monkey branches. So Polly is new, Tim is new, Mercia is new, everybody is new, it seems, except for Maribel, and who else? Did we have Lady Shante, of course, the Queen. I'm not sure if anybody else is in here. It's great to have new people here. You probably didn't even realise, but I did live streams, because I've not done them in so long. So thank you for visiting my channel. I know there's a lot of choice out there. I like to be the channel which really promotes positivity, I would like to say. I know that there are other channels that focus on their own ideas, and that's absolutely fine, but I will always promote things in a positive thinking point of view. That is why I believe I try to stand out in that way, because I'm giving honest, truthful thoughts and advice. Nothing is guaranteed. I don't sugarcoat anything, but I try to show you the way to a happier future for yourself. So Chuck is here. Hello, Chuck. Thank you for your guidance, sir. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for being in here and joining me today. William Bailey, a legend of my previous live streams, is here. A legend of the channel, actually, William Bailey. Hello. Great to have you in here, William. I'm so happy to see a lovely combination of new people and also familiar people that I've spoke to before. Lady Shante said, Vincent, I've been in no contact for 2 years. I can honestly say that I was in and out of stage 1 dumpy for quite some time. It does get better over time. Had my ex hadn't been so cruel, I think. Your ex was a very, very cruel person, Lady Shante. And this is the thing with me and my channel. I will not always promote you try and get your ex back. Some people who have had coaching with me will know and will testify to the fact that I will say to them, look, in my opinion, you shouldn't even try to get them back. My advice is to try to get you towards a happier future. That might be to try to get your ex back. That might be to try and find somebody even better. And in Lady Shantae's case, that is certainly to find somebody better. Maribel has said, you are real, Vincent. We thank you for your support. Thank you, Maribel. And thank you for your support, especially of Motivation Club. I've had many members of Motivation Club kind of come and go, and thank you for everybody who has been. Maribel has been a very long-standing member of Motivation Club, and I hope that you have found it helpful. William has said, how's Vincent doing? I'm doing great, thank you, William. I've just released my course that I've been working on for 6 months. which is one of the reasons why I've not been able to do live streams, but I've just been focusing on that. And I'm also experimenting with a new channel. I had a second channel. I've rebranded it and uploaded the first video onto it yesterday. It's a very different kind of, well, it is a different topic. I suppose it could be linked to self-improvement in some respects, but it is very, very different. Mercia said, my ex is avoidant, is totally out of his personality to be dating. In 4 years of relationship, I only meet 2 friends. He is quiet and likes to be alone. How can he move on that fast? How can he move that fast? Well, I would suggest that everybody evolves, everybody grows, everybody moves in their own directions. Let's just think of a caterpillar, for instance. If you wasn't aware of butterflies, you would probably be surprised to hear that a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, because they don't look anything like. But that was always its journey. So I would say that we are all caterpillars and we're all on our own journey. And sometimes we might evolve into something which might seem quite surprising to other people. But that was, always within us, and with the correct stimulus, that is how you would go. So I would say, Mercia, that perhaps this is the journey that your ex is on right now. And I would say, if you try to focus on your own journey and on your own movement going forward, you are likely to have an easier time of things. So William has said, cool. Hello, William. I'm so glad you are contributing once more. Thank you for your kind words. How are you feeling right now? It's obviously been a while since we've last caught up. Jocelyn said, hey, Vincent, good to hear you again. Thanks, Jocelyn. Another former member of my live stream crew. Friday will be exactly 1 year that she dumped me. I'm so sorry, Jocelyn, to hear this. I see more and more my value and realise she was not even good enough for me. Well, that is a really positive thing to think, because you are raising your own value and you are understanding that you are valuable. All of the people in here today, you are all valuable. Don't let your value drop because somebody has decided to not be with you right now. You helped a lot. Well, thank you, Jocelyn. I really, really appreciate it. Bernie is here. Hello, Bernie. I'm new. New to no contact. Made many mistakes. X is a dismissive avoidant. First time I stuck to it. He came back after 3 weeks. I did not set boundaries, and that's a mistake. So everybody's got their own take on things. There are many different channels. They all have their own concepts and theories and stuff. For me, I do speak of attachment theories, but I don't dwell on them per se. I believe attachment theories and attachment styles can be why a relationship might deteriorate. However, I from my own research, and this is just my own research, I've not seen that affect getting your ex back situations. I've not seen, from my own data, certain attachment styles being more or less likely to reconnect. So for me, I believe very much so in my own theory of romantic emotional attraction. And in essence, the belief that somebody can only be in a romantic relationship with somebody else if they are feeling a high level of romantic emotional attraction for one another. And therefore, when that level drops, that is when a breakup will likely take place. And they will only consider getting back together with that person if and when that level has risen again to the necessary point. And that is why you can't beg, plead or reason with somebody, because, let me give an example. If you're not hungry and I'm begging you to eat something, that's not going to make you want to eat. If you're not hungry and I'm saying, please, just eat this, you're not going to want to eat. You will only eat when you're hungry, and somebody will only date you when that gets to the point of where they actually want to, because otherwise it's irrelevant, and that is just not a position where you can move forward from, because if they don't want to be with you, you can't beg them to be with you. So William has said, I'm feeling pretty good overall. X still unblocking and blocking here and there. It sounds like, William, you've been in Groundhog Day for a long time. Maribel said, Tim, you will move on. Of course, you will start seeing the situation in a different perspective, and you will realise how important important self-improvement and self-love is. Thank you, Maribel. That's really well said. Sabavid, I hope I pronounced that correctly. What are your thoughts on the difference in no contact working on women versus men as Badumper? Do women reach out less? Thank you for all you do, Vincent. Well, thank you so much for your question. Linking in really with what I've just been speaking of about my own research, and this is only my own data, but similarly to what I've just said about attachment styles, I've not seen any differences between men and women regarding that. Now look, I'm a big person who will speak of how men and women are different, masculine and feminine energies are different. I'm certainly not somebody who says we are all the same in a generalised sense, but when it comes to the no contact rule, when it comes to trying to get your ex back, I have seen very similar results. And normally if it's a woman who's trying to get their ex back, or it's a man who's trying to get their ex back, they will be feeling that the person they're trying to get their ex back is perhaps the type of person that never comes back, because we're always presenting the worst version of events to ourselves. So whatever your position, you will perhaps gravitate towards the theory that your situation is less likely to come off. And in my research, that has not really been the case. Jocelyn said, I'm dating a great girl for 5 months. She's totally in love with me, unlike my ex that never was. Problem is that this time I'm not sure about my feelings, not sure to love her. Shall I give her time? I'm afraid to be for that amazing girl what my ex did to me. I stayed together while not being sure and not feeling in love and expect to change my mind. I'm afraid to be for that girl. Okay, so I can understand what you're saying, Jocelyn. Basically, you don't want to break this new girl's heart. What I would say is that you've got to find your own happiness. I mean, if you are genuinely not feeling happy, then I would suggest that the kindest thing would be to break things off. And I'm not saying that instantaneously. Obviously, give it some time, go on a number of dates, but you've been together a while now, it sounds. And the deeper you get, the harder it's going to be. What I would say is, if you do end the relationship, please make sure that you are as sure as possible. Please make sure you are respectful and kind as you can be in this situation. Explain your thoughts, and then after that happens, never contact your ex again. Don't try to be friends with them, don't try to be anything like that. Because if you do that, you could have them hanging on. William has said yes, an odd Groundhog Day. Jocelyn said, this new girl is a gem, but I'm not feeling really in love so far. Things can develop, but, it sounds like you've been together a number of months, and normally things should be quite fiery right now. They should be in the honeymoon period right now. That's not sounding overly positive. Polly said, is there a difference between monkey branching and extremely lonely people who are constantly seeking a new person after a breakup? I believe there is a difference between monkey branchers and rebound relationships, because somebody who has a rebound relationship isn't necessarily a monkey brancher, because this could be the only time that's happened. I believe monkey branching is somebody who is doing this constantly and consistently. Tim has said, April the 12th, she sent me a text stating, I love you so much and so thankful that you're in my life. A month later, we are done. We've been together for 2 years and she's split up with me at least 15 times. I mean, Tim, hearing that does not sound positive, promising, or anything I could really strongly suggest you even want to focus on. Again, I know that's not what you want to hear, but if you have been broken up with 15 times, that sounds to me that there is something not quite right in this connection. And I'm positive that you would find an even better connection. Splitting up 15 times is very excessive. I would certainly consider looking out for new connections. Enkidu, hello there. Hey Vincent, my ex said to me that she doesn't see any future in us being together and broke up. Will her feelings change your thoughts or relation was 4 years? 4 years is a long time, you've got a lot of memories built there. And, never say never. I've known people make contact with their ex 2-3 years after they previously spoke. You never know what the future holds. However, you shouldn't clock watch. You shouldn't wait around. You need to live your life. So is it possible they could change their mind and contact you? Yes. Should you wait for them? No. Absolutely not. Sabavida said, that's true, Vincent. We do think we're worse generally. I do think I'll never hear from her. Just crossed 100 days. The truth of the matter is, nobody knows for certain. I can't say whether you will or won't hear from your ex again, and nobody else can. If somebody claims to be able to tell you that definitively, then they're lying. What I can say is if you do everything right, then there is every chance you will one day hear from them again. So 100 days sounds terribly, terribly long. If we look at that in months, it's what, 3.5 months? Something such as that, and in that respect, it's early days. So it's all dependent on how you look at things. Jocelyn said, I'm long distance, 3 hours from each other. We spend every weekend together. I feel great with her, but do not miss her when we're not together. With my ex, I was obsessed and wanted to be with her all the time, but she was not healthy. Can one be a perfect match, happy, not feeling with butterflies? I mean, from what you're saying, butterflies, I was twice under my life, both did not work in the end. I mean, the thought I would say, Jocelyn, is you could find a better connection closer to you. Long distance relationships do not last long term. They need a closing of space. So eventually you would have to move closer to your new partner or vice versa. And if you're not feeling butterflies now, then you probably never will be. And if you're moving to where they live or they're moving towards where you live, that is a lot more difficult to untangle if that relationship doesn't last. So I would seriously consider maybe calling time on it, but only you can make that decision. And Kido said also, I've been in no contact for past 2 weeks. I didn't beg or plead. What are my chances? Well, it's good that you didn't beg or plead. That would have made sure that you didn't lessen the level of romantic emotional attraction that your ex feels for you, because ultimately that's what happens. We was talking about that level earlier. So when somebody's level is really low, that is when they will end a relationship. If you then beg and plead, that level is going to drop even further because you are annoying them. Because you haven't done that, that means the level is at least stabilised. And maybe not yet, but soon it will very slowly start to rise. The problem is that we never know how far it has fallen, and hence we never know how much level needs to be gained for them to feel enough interest. Justin is here. Hello, Justin. Hi, Vincent. Just discovered your channel. Oh, thank you, Justin. Great to have you in here. Definitely the best compared to others I've looked up. Oh, wow. I really, really appreciate your kind words. Thank you to you and everybody else who is here. My ex is consistently blocking and unblocking. Just a bit confusing. You sound very much like William, who was in our chat earlier. It's just a bit confusing. Blocked me again last week after I said no to friends. I mean, you've done the right thing with the friends. If you have romantic feelings for somebody and you accept an active platonic friendship, you will get your heart broken again. Because platonic friends will have no problem in discussing their love life with each other. If you are platonic friends with somebody, then you should have no problem with hearing about their love life and also maybe going out socially with your friend and their new partner. So if you are secretly still in love with your ex and you accept a platonic friendship, then that is eventually what will happen. Eventually, they will meet somebody new and you will have your heart broken all over. So basically, you can only be platonic friends with somebody who you have platonic feelings for and vice versa. That is the only way it works. Now, of course, the way you deliver that news is something which can be, good or bad. I don't suggest ever being cruel, angry, or negative. So, you've got to put this in your own words. But if you have an ex who asks to be platonic friends with you and you still feel attracted to them and you still want to be with them romantically, then, in your own words, say something such as, look, I don't think we could ever be platonic friends, and put a smiley face or something just to soften the text somewhat, or put, look, I just don't think platonic friends is right for us at this time. But that doesn't mean be rude to them or be horrible or to be cruel. You could still answer the odd message, but just don't spend time with them, you might say. Don't excessively text them unless you're feeling platonic as well. Tim has said, I do appreciate your time, Vincent, and thank you, Maribel. Well, I appreciate your time, Tim, spending it in here with us today. Thank you. Jocelyn has said, Because of work, we won't be able to live together for another 2.5 years. I think I should make up my mind soon. She'll present me her parents this month. I wish I could control my heart. I mean, to me, that doesn't sound like it's going to last long term. That's my personal opinion. Max has said, hello, Max. My ex was dumped and 3 weeks later we got together. Our relationship lasted about a year. And we had a few trips and good time together. Was I rebound for a dumpy? It's possible. I mean, normally I would say a year is about the maximum before you would say, look, it really has got a bit more serious in their mind. However, you are on that boundary. And yes, dumpies can have rebounds. I know that a lot of my content is on dumper rebounds. I probably should speak of dumpy rebounds because they absolutely can have them. And with you saying... it sounded very much like you got together quite quickly. There is every chance, sadly, that you was a rebound for your ex. Polly has said, I found out my ex is always moving extremely fast in all his relationships, always seeking love, but does not know what love is, always wants a partner to move in ASAP without knowing them why. I mean, again, that sounds like classic rebound behaviour, which could be linked into some type of monkey branching as well. Jocelyn said, is a fantastic girl, the best I've met, and a genuine match. So you're feeling those feelings. You don't want to hurt her, but you're not in love with her. The 2 times I was in love, I lost myself. That girl love me how I am. Can it be that I'm not emotionally available because I'm afraid to suffer again? I mean, it is possible, Jocelyn, but you should be feeling romantic, excited butterflies by now. I just don't think this is something you're feeling. And also, the distance is a big problem, a big red flag. William has said, yes, Justin, it's confusing what ex-block and unblock. Mine has the last 12 months. It's been a long journey, William, and hopefully this behaviour will stop. Mercy has said, my ex was crying at the breakup, and we even said we may be together in the future. Does it mean anything? People speak how they feel in the moment. So when you are in a relationship and you're in love with each other, you will say, I love you. When you are going through a breakup and either you are dumping somebody or you are being dumped, then they might say, I don't like you, I hate you. If you get back together, then somebody will say, I miss you. You know, but what I'm getting at is we speak in the moment. The truth is in the moment. All it means is how we feel right now. So what you're referring to is discussions that you had in that moment, Mercia, and that was all it was relevant to. That day, that moment, that hour. So it doesn't mean anything for the future. It doesn't mean anything good. It also doesn't mean anything bad. William said, just keep moving forward. Absolutely. That is definitely the best advice. Jocelyn has said, oh, sorry, I'd already read Jocelyn's, about the concern, about maybe kind of like giving your heart and whatnot. And I think that is possible, but I don't think that's happening right now. Justin said, thanks for that. The friends thing didn't feel right. Maybe just time to give up or move on. The thing is, Justin, you never know what the future holds. And your ex, by you behaving in this way, it could start to trigger your ex missing you. Again, that is not something that we can bank on. And I don't want you waiting. But there's every chance it could happen. But definitely, if you have romantic feelings for somebody, you can't have an active platonic friendship with them. You should still be respectful. You should be kind. You should be pleasant. Doesn't mean you can't occasionally speak to them. But nothing active. When I say active, I mean don't spend time with them. Don't have phone calls with them. And don't text them weekly or even monthly. George Orwell. What an honour to have George Orwell in here today. George Orwell said, hi Vincent, my ex broke up with me 9 months ago and had a new boyfriend 3 weeks later. We chatted 2 months ago over a work thing. She asked me to get in contact if I wanted to catch up. I didn't. Was this wrong? I mean, it's a very interesting situation you describe. It sounds like she possibly jumped into a rebound. Maybe she's not really convinced with that rebound right now with her attitude as she discussed. I don't think you did anything wrong per se. I mean, additionally, she is with somebody else. If anything, I would have flipped it round and kind of said, look, you know, you're in a relationship. Look, if you ever want to talk, then just get in touch. I don't think you did anything wrong. You've not affected your chances negatively. She should be smart enough to realise that she ended the relationship. She's now with somebody new. you're a respectful person. Why would you be chasing her? If she doesn't understand that, then, she doesn't really deserve to understand you. She doesn't deserve to be with you, I wouldn't say. Gosh, thank you so much for everybody's putting in the comments. I'm going to read as many as I can, although I'm going to have to go, unfortunately, in the next 5 or 10 minutes. If you definitively want your comment read out, then I will make sure that I read out any super chats as a priority. I'm just running a bit behind on them. I will try to get through as many as I can. Any super chats I will definitely focus on, but I'll just carry on as best as I can right now. Okay, so Lady Shanty said, Vincent, do dumpers eventually look back at the relationship similar to dumpees? It seems like the recovery from a dumpee is much longer. The recovery is much longer for a dumpee because the dumpee has been hurt. The dumper got what they wanted. The dumper made a decision to end a relationship, and that is exactly what happened. The dumpee did not decide to end the relationship, and they had the rug pulled underneath them. So the dumpee is feeling like the world has ended. Now, the dumper at the time of a breakup isn't feeling that because they got what they wanted. We'll use the food analogy again. It's like the dumper and the dumpee going out to dinner. The dumper got the food they wanted, and the dumpee didn't get what they asked for, to use a food analogy. So the dumper will eventually look back on their life because they will have to reflect. But it would take a certain amount of time for them to do so, and what they think of it when they do reflect will depend on the relationship, the breakup, and the aftermath. Enkidu said, hey Vincent, I just checked my WhatsApp and found out she's just unblocked me. Wow. Stuff going on live right now. I mean, you're being unblocked presumably so your ex can kind of check a few things here and there. I will try my hardest to not let that distract you, because unless they reach out to you directly, then that is not real, true interactions, really. Maribella said, Marenko, Mauricia, exes always say we're going to get together again to make it softer for us. Only time can tell. Absolutely. That is a very good point as well. Some dumpers will use that classic line as a way to try to soften the situation. I truly believe that if somebody ends a relationship and they want to reconnect, or at least they just want to talk, then they will reach out. Enkidu says, should I reach out or wait for it to text first? If you have been dumped, then unless there is very rare exceptions to the rule, if you've been dumped, I believe you should never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. Jocelyn said, any tips for how to stop thinking about my ex? I do not want her back, but nonetheless think every day about her like I would want her to tell me she's sorry for hurting me so much. I think it's natural in some respects to have those thoughts, but the best thing you can do is to mix with new people, and I would say, Jocelyn, mix with new local people, somebody who you can actually see every day, every other day, every few days, not once a week, and not really having those butterflies. I would suggest going online dating. Polly said, can you do a video on if you should take an ex back after their rebound relationship, pros and cons? This would be helpful for lots of people. That's a really good idea, actually. That's a good idea. Let me just try to make a note of that. Yeah, everybody who's just joined today's live stream, I'm so sorry I've been away for so long from the streams. I've been working on a course. It's taken me 6 months to make, and it's now out there. It's a course which is... There's lots of reading elements, there's also listening elements, there's test elements, quick quiz elements. There are texting examples about what you might receive, how to respond. It's about trying to get your ex back, trying to find somebody new. It's literally everything I could think of all in one course. Basically, it's the complete guide. And although there's no guarantee you'll find success from it, it's pretty much everything I can muster. Everything laid out, action plans, hints, tips, everything. That's where I've been for the last few months instead of live streaming. I've been working on this course. I'm just making note of this podcast idea. Rebound relationship. Should I take them back? Thank you for that idea. Georgia Orwell has laughed. Polly Pocket said, "Fair rebound relationship from you." Yeah, I wrote that down. Steel Kiss, hello. Can someone be so stressed out in a relationship? My ex said he wanted to work on himself and couldn't be in a relationship now. I'm respecting his decision and I've got no contact. You've done the right thing in respecting his decision. However, the likelihood of the situation is that he is not feeling enough romantic emotional attraction for you and the relationship you was having. Now, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely true that being stressed out can be something that makes you feel like you can't have a relationship. I'm not saying that is not true, but what I am saying is that people who are feeling a high level of romantic emotional attraction for one another will almost do whatever it takes to keep a relationship together. You know, they might be living at other ends of the country and they'll be travelling through the night to see each other. You know what I mean? It's a situation where if you're feeling the vibe, you keep it together. And if you're not feeling enough romantic emotional attraction, then when there are problems, like stress, then it becomes like the straw that broke the camel's back, as they say. So what I would say, Steel Kiss, is you've done absolutely the right thing. You've done the perfect thing that you had to do, which is going to no contact, and respected your ex's decision. But as for whether this relationship has ended purely down to stress, I would suggest that is something that's going on in their life. But ultimately, sadly, I believe that at this time, they're just not feeling the relationship. Jocelyn said, I'm pissed she's found a new boyfriend in a few weeks and I was so easy to replace, that she never had a word of apology when she knows she manipulated. I mean, everything I'm reading right now, Jocelyn, absolutely, you know, this new partner of yours is not working for you. And if it's like you move on, the only thing I would suggest is mixing with new people and not this new person you're dating, because this person is not taking your mind off your ex. Al Pacino said, hello Al, another legend of the streams. Hey Vincent, long time. Absolutely Al, I was just saying that the course is finally complete, it's out there, and that is why I'll have a bit more time to live stream, as well as working on my second channel that I've rebranded yesterday. Polly Pocket has said, you're welcome. It's great to have new people in today's stream. Maribel has said, thank you everybody, workout time for me. Thanks Vincent. Have a great workout Maribel, I hope it goes really, really well. Al Pacino said, I meant to message you. My ex tried to call me the other night in the early hours, but I missed the call. Wow. The Al Pacino story is one which should be made into a film. It's a story where it shows that you never know what the future holds. You never know what the future holds, and Al Pacino has been through the grind, and his ex, I don't think he'll mind me saying, is living with another man and still contacting him periodically. That is where we're at right now. Hello from the Dominican Republic. Wow, hello. Great to have people from all around the world here. How are you? How are you feeling? Al Pacino has also said she sent me some Instagram messages beforehand, but I didn't see those earlier either. Basically saying that she was drunk and to ignore her. I told her the day after, you don't have to be drunk to talk. Yeah, I can understand that. We should catch up. She said she would message this week to arrange, but I don't believe a word of it. Unfortunately, I would suggest that's unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. It's been great speaking to everybody. I am going to be wrapping this up in the next few minutes. Please, if you definitely want your comment read out, send it in a super chat. I will prioritise those. I will try to get through as many as I can in the next few minutes. Melinda has said, hello Melinda. Does reaching out include an ex sending flowers after months of no contact? That's an interesting one. I mean, is your ex the dumper? I'm guessing your ex is the dumper. In that regard, I would say that does count as a reach out. However, I would still hope that there were some words attached. I mean, was there words sent with the flowers? Was there a note? Porsche, hello Porsche, great to have you in here. She unblocked me, then blocked me, then unblocked me. Wow, okay, 36 days no contact from me. And being stupid, I broke no contact. She cried because she was almost at the boiling point to come back. But after crying, she felt relieved and wanted to friend zone. I'm so devastated as it was so close. I love her so much. She is now again indifferent and again refocusing, shall I say, on her rebound. But until my course she felt wasn't working out. What are my chances now? We were 5 years together, but we're on the opposite sides of the world now, and it was long distance. I mean, there's a lot obviously to take in there. Firstly, I would say, and this doesn't just go to you, Porsche, this goes to everybody. Long distance relationships rarely work long term. They need a closing of space. So anybody that's in a long term relationship, their odds of reconciling are smaller. You know, that is the reality. 5 years together though is a lot of time. You know, it sounds to me that there's every possibility you might hear from your ex again, Porsche, but I can't guarantee in any way, shape or form that you will hear from your ex or that you will get back together. The distance is a huge thing. It sounds like your ex is with somebody else as well right now. I suggest fully focusing on moving forward with your life and making new connections, not only as a way to try to take your mind off your ex, but also to allow you to mix with new people and seeing what the world has there out for you in a more local way. It's very important for everybody listening. You are going through a bleak tunnel, but trust me, you will get through this. You will get out the other side. Okay, you're in a bleak tunnel, and there is happiness and light outside of this tunnel. The only way to get out of a tunnel is to move forward. If you stand still, you will stay in the dark, bleak tunnel. Keep moving forward. Please keep moving forward. Always remember to speak to your friends, your family, and if you feel depressed, speak to a local doctor. They will help you. You will get through this. I've spoken to people who've been at absolute rock bottom, and now they look back and they're so happy now compared to where they were. You will all get there. So please keep going. Al Pacino said, oh, she follows me on Instagram now too, but I don't want to follow back for obvious reasons. I mean, now you've got a good opportunity there to play some social media game, but again, I'm really concerned that she holds you back. If you can manage the situation whilst not preventing yourself moving forward, then go for it. Rochelle, hello Rochelle, great to have you in here. I think you're a first timer from what I remember. I don't think I've seen your profile before. My boyfriend for 2 years cheated on me and dumped me for a girl met in 2 months, is that? He asked for space, then never talks to me. I applied no contact. What should I do? We're in a long distance relationship. I'm so sorry to hear your situation, Rochelle. As I was just saying, anybody in a long distance relationship should realise that this is going to be more challenging just by the virtue of your connection. However, the basics still apply. You know, if you've been dumped, your best chance of reattracting your ex is to implement my version of the no contact rule. That is the starting point for any dumpee. That is what I would always suggest. Christina says hello. Hello, Christina. Sending everyone here good energy. Thank you, Christina. Let's send that back to everybody. You are going to get through this. Every single one of you is going to look back on today as a day where you wasn't feeling great and you'll think, but now I'm feeling wonderful. Because today is the first day of the rest of your life and you are all going to get through this. You will all find happiness. Whether it's with your ex, whether it's somebody new, you will find happiness. Again, I promise you. So please keep moving forward with positivity. Keep doing your thing. Justin has said, thanks, Vincent. Solid advice. Thank you, Justin, for being part of today's live stream. Al has said, I'm not going to follow her back. Hopefully that doesn't affect anything. She knows I'm willing to meet her at least. I will send the screenshots of the conversation. All I would say, Al, is just on your own social media, post positive things. Make sure you're looking your best, doing good things. Use it to your advantage, but don't let it hold you back. Rochelle has said thank you so much. Thank you, Rochelle, and thank you to everybody who has taken part in today's live stream. Hopefully I can do them more regularly again now. I've been taking time away from live streams. Some of you I've met for the first time today because I've been working on a course for the last 6 months. It's now out, it's now ready. It's to help you guide towards a happier future. So it will help you increase the chance of either getting your ex back or meeting somebody even better, helping you through breakup recovery. Nothing can be guaranteed, but it's everything I could muster from my mind. Reading exercises, listening exercises, quizzes, text message conversations, what you might receive, how you should reply. Everything you can think of. is in this course. That is why I've been away from live streams for so long. I've just been working on it as much as I can, and a few days ago it was finally released. So thank you so much for everybody who has joined me today. There is a new podcast out tomorrow. Please look out for it. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you haven't already. And always remember that with or without your ex, you will have a positive future. Thank you and goodbye.